Hi, this is Alexa, and we are doing an episode, Women in Business Leadership. And I'm so fortunate to sit in studio with Missy MacKintosh. And she is really well known in the community, and she has some really exciting things happening. So I'm just so excited to sit down and talk to you about your makeup line and discuss your next couple of months and what's going on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for asking me to come in today and to share my story. It's we have some really crazy, exciting things happening, so I'm really thrilled to share all of it.
So for people that don't know, I mean, you started off as a makeup artist, so you've
Correct.
been doing it for, let's go back a little bit. You've been doing it for 15 some years.
More than that, yes. Long time. I say many moons. I've been doing makeup for many, many moons. But I've been obsessed with makeup since I was 3. Like, it even goes beyond that. It was in my blood, but my mom never wore it.
You
so
came out as
like,
a baby with lipstick, pink
pretty
lips.
much, yeah. Pink lips and putting blue shadow on my dolls.
Cute.
And I turned that passion into a very thriving career as a makeup artist. And I actually freelanced in Kelowna starting in 2014 for quite a few years until I was introduced to clean beauty through Portia Ella. So they hired me to do their first campaign for their first store in Winnipeg back in 2016. And I used to work for Makeup Forever. I actually studied airbrushing at the Makeup Forever Academy in Paris.
Wow.
Very brand loyal.
Yeah.
And when I went into the shoot, I was like, what the heck is clean? Like, to be honest with you, like 2016, no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
Not only that, I found for myself and my clients, it was really more of a granola branding, not like something you would find in Sephora.
Yeah.
So
you're like,
right? Like, right? And as a pro makeup artist, we all everyone's with me on that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the products did not hold up to my standards. However, they opened up my eyes to how self-regulated the industry is and how many toxic ingredients are in everything. Once you go down the rabbit hole, you can't unsee it.
You can't go back.
You can't go back. And you don't know what you don't know until you know, right? So you can't beat yourself up for not knowing.
Yeah.
But once you know, you have that educated choice to continue on or to change, and trying to find products that were safe for myself and for my clients, that were made in Canada, that were clean, but high pigment concentration did not exist. So that's where I took matters into my own hands. And I've always been a pipeline dream to have my own cosmetics brand, but I grew up in Salmon Arm. Like, who does that?
Small town girl.
Small town girl. I lived in the boonies, to be quite honest. And I was like, okay, like independent beauties are on the rise. Like, I'm watching all these like Canadian indie beauty brands and they're killing it. Like, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yes.
So I found an amazing manufacturer out of Manitoba.
Oh, wow.
And
Canadian.
Yep. Female Canadian all the way, all behind me. And I pitched them, I'm like, I want to be like the next, like the Makeup Forever of the clean beauty world. And she time invested 2 years with me, and we built MisMacK from the ground up. So started in my small town basement of Canoe, BC, from everything from package design to branding, you name it, while working on our formulas with my chemist in Manitoba. I single-handedly built Canada's most award-winning first professional high pigment concentration products in Canada.
You're so impressive.
There's
so many things that I like, awards, like there's all these things that you've accomplished already. But I mean, as being a female, and I think we're seeing it not just in beauty products, but especially what you're doing is you're giving women still the option to have fun with makeup and, you know, feel good about themselves, but not put these skincare products or like beauty products on your face, knowing that 10 years, 20 years from now, you're damaging, causing toxins, might cause issues, health issues. Women, hormonal issues.
Exactly.
Do we have hormonal issues because of the makeup we wear?
Unfortunately, we do. So a lot of these ingredients, mainstream ingredients, to give you an idea of how self-regulated the industry is.
Yeah.
So the US, the FDA only has 11 ingredients that are banned. It hasn't been updated since 1938.
11?
11.
Okay.
Canada has about 400. The European Union has over 1,600 ingredients that are banned. We're on par with the European Union standards. Yeah. So if we ever want, when we get to that point to win that market, we can. And a lot of these ingredients are hormone disruptors, fertility issues.
Oh my God, scary.
Yeah, they can be cancer causing based on studies. It's horrible. Like, it's just crazy. Like cosmetics should not be hurting us. And unfortunately, it's still very much a man-dominated industry in the corporate world at the top of the food chain. Look at Jamie Kern-Lima and her story, who was at Cosmetics and sold it for the biggest buyout in L'Oreal's history and was the first female CEO sitting at the board of L'Oreal in 2017.
Are these men wearing this makeup?
Yeah, and all they care about is the bottom line, right? And it's independent. And I really believe it's companies like myself who are educating and informing the world, not in a fear-mongering way, but like this is crazy. I mean, you can look at it in any industry, into the food, into whatever. I chose makeup because that's my passion. Yeah. And now to be able to offer products that are safe, but you can have fun with. And honestly, our products work better on more mid to late life than the youngins because of our ingredients. Oh. But we also have the color that you can have fun with, and biodegradable glitter. So the first brand to release a biodegradable glitter at a retail level in Canada.
So cool.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a lot of work. You were saying years and years of coming up with these products. How do you think once people actually sit down with you and learn more about this, or say, hey, Missy, what's my color? Or, do a consultation. Do people stick with this brand and never go back to these toxin chemicals? And then you just keep adding new products like your glitter.
Exactly. We kind of get a mix of both, where we get people who are like, oh my God, I had no idea. And they go home and they throw everything out and start fresh. A lot of our clients honestly are more mature and wanting that self-care piece and don't know where to start, and want to start with the best first, instead of wasting the money going to big box stores and being sold on the new trend and then feeling confused of even how to use it when you get home. So we're at my stores, we offer free pampering sessions all day, every day. And we're really big onto education. And my tag is that makeup does not define you. It's merely a tool of empowerment. Yeah. So that's how we're really big. We're really big onto empowering and teaching as we go. Yeah. And then from there, we do one-on-one lessons as well, which is incredibly empowering.
Nice. So where can people come do these pamper sessions with you and learn more?
So we have a brand new store right on Water Street. So we're right next to Eurobean, attached to the Delta. Yeah. And we also have our HQ in Salmon Arm, which is where we do all of our global shipping from there as well.
Wow. Amazing. And then you can, like, if I didn't live here, you can go online and purchase, and it goes right to your house. And
exactly. And we actually offer a free sample pack. You just have to pay for shipping, where it includes 3 foundation colors, our nourishing skin oil, which is our #1 seller.
Oh, that sounds...
And a cleansing balm and a little blur powder. So you can actually... right? And it actually has an instruction sheet on how to use these products that you get when you do a pamper session. Yeah. Customer service is honestly me. If you're to email or Instagram, you'll get me on the other side. So we're really big in building that community and that transparency and the comfort that you get with knowing that you're also supporting local. So.
Yeah. Well, Canadian. Yeah. Female. Local. And it's good for you.
And it works. That's the other thing. It works.
It's not just, we do good things and feel good and you're going to get crap.
It's not just marketing BS. Like, we really do have
marketing BS.
Marketing BS. We actually have women who sit in our chair and they're like, man, I look 10 years younger, 5 years younger. Women in their 50s and 60s. I
believe it, because you're actually aging. And maybe that's why we've had to go, or it seems like Botox and all these things are more and more younger and younger, because for kids, teenagers are using makeup so early these days too. So
and skincare that's not healthy for their skin. It's crazy.
I would even say that because, younger, you were putting on makeup at 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to wear it. I would color my dolls.
Yeah, you color your dolls. But I mean, even if you have young kids or young girls wanting to play, like, why not let them play with something safe?
Exactly. We do a lot of, we kind of get we get both ends of the spectrum. So we're the starting point for their first experience with makeup. We actually are just going to be launching our sparkle parties for birthday parties. We just did our first one last week. It's super fun. Yeah. And then we also get the opposite end of the spectrum, where we have women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s wanting to learn how to put and enhance their beautiful features. So it's such a fun realm to be in, and you can tell I'm just super passionate about empowering everyone. Yeah.
So let's touch a little bit. The reason why also I think you've been so successful, or you've had to work hard, but you're so well known in the community, but that's lots of being out there and putting yourself out there and sponsoring amazing events. So can you talk a little bit about why community and maybe Kelowna specifically is so important to you?
Yeah. So this store is incredibly special, and I'm going to pull on the heartstrings here. I started my career in Kelowna. I've been nominated Best of Kelowna multiple years, but because I live in Salmon Arm, I never felt that I felt okay to go after it. So the last 2 years, I unfortunately have been pulled away from my business due to my father's health declining, and dementia set in. I had to sell his house, put him into assisted living, and unfortunately, he passed away last January, and it put me into a really dark place.
Still processing.
It's still grief is not it's an easier and never ending journey. But it was during that hardship that we were looking at actually opening a store in Kelowna, and he would ask me every day if it was happening, and it just never did. And something on Father's Day last year told me to look on MLS, and I found the most amazing location right on the Delta Grand. And I knew with my inheritance that he would want me to invest in my Kelowna store. So my son and I came in, and
I just got goosebumps.
I know,
look at that.
Right? It's like, it's such a so this store, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing in here. I'm like, there's an incredible energy in this store.
Yeah, my dad.
My dad helped me build this, and my son came in, and a buddy of mine, and we flipped it in 3 weeks, and it's been a whirlwind. This community has just welcomed me back with open arms, and I believe if community is where the power is. If we didn't have the community, like MisMacK wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Yeah. Right? No matter how hard I worked, it's the community and the giving back, and that's what builds your tribe. Yeah. Right? Or your community.
Yes. Right. Amazing. So we don't have to go too far into this, but as a female in business, I know you have no business experience. Like, it's not like you went to school. Nope. You went to school for makeup and you're doing all this, but you didn't know how to run a business. Nope. So has there been times throughout the years that you're like, this is too much? Being an entrepreneur is too much? Or you find yourself still in situations as being a female where you're like, why do I not get to sit at the head of that table? Or why do I have to, jump through all these hoops? Has there been a point in your career as owning a small business been like, I'm done?
Oh my God, every day. like if I was to say, oh my gosh, it's rainbows and butterflies, that's a complete lie. BS. Yeah. Every single day there is an inkling of like, I'm not good enough. I've never gone to school for this. Can I really do this? And it's just a thought, and I have to remember that that's not true, because look at where we are. Like, I did this all by myself. I built it into 3 storefronts. We're having to scale back to scale up, unfortunately, with Victoria. But that's okay. We have to let it go so we can grow. And I could have let that completely cripple me. And if this was to happen when everything was happening with my dad, like timing is everything, and everything happens for a reason, it would have completely debilitated me. But now, through personal development and owning your power and owning your worth is so important. And if I wasn't on this entrepreneurial journey, I wouldn't be the strong person that I am today or sitting here with you. Yeah. So entrepreneurship isn't just about going after your passion or after your dream. It's really that personal development part of it too, growing and changing and learning and adapting. And it's hard. It's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And it's things that I've also learned is when you fail into your flow, you have to start small to grow tall.
I like that.
And no one's going to build your dream but you. Yeah.
And you might be by yourself fighting through it all.
And it is the most loneliest journey as well. So that's why community and talking about is so important, because there's so many women that are on the same journey or trying to build something where I was 6 years ago, right? Yeah. And if I can come in and help inspire and be like, you will get through this, you just have to keep pushing. And it's one baby consistent step every day. It's not the end of the picture, even for me right now. Like, we're going on Dragon's Den, like we're filming on Monday, and I have to remember to be present and have this experience with my son, because who gets to go on Dragon's Den with their son, right? It's amazing. I need to be present and to be very confident as well of what I have built, and being like, this is what I have done when I go into that pitch, and own it. So.
And the Dragons might say, no bueno.
Yeah, they might. Everyone's like, they'd be stupid if they didn't, but you never know. You never know what can come out of me.
You're gonna not keep going. No. Okay, so that's a good segue to the Dragon's Den. So you have an exciting week ahead, lots of nerves, but you're also trying to run your business while you're trying to do this. So can you tell the community what you and your son have come up with?
Yeah, so my son's very much an avid ball player. He's played ball since he was 4 years old, and competitively since he was 10. And I would not let him wear eye black on his face. My husband bought a stick. Yeah, and I was like, do you know what's in this? And he's like, nope, and he threw it out. And I wouldn't let him wear it, but it's such a huge trend. And I was sitting with my mother-in-law at a tournament here last summer, and my mother-in-law said this to me yesterday. She's like, I'll never forget. This team came out from Vancouver, and they were all filled with eye black. Like, not just like the stripe. It was like almost a full face kind of a thing. And knowing what you know at the industry, my mother-in-law's like, I don't even want to know the toxins that are in there. I'm like, me neither. And she's like, you should create a clean eye black. And she's like, the moment I said that, the wheels in my head started turning, and I went to Evan. I was like, hey, do you want to create an eye block that's toxic free? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to be my partner with this? And he helped name it. He helped build, like, design the logo. He designed the packaging.
Oh my God.
And it was only last August that we were talking about it at Provincials in Surrey, of like, kind of like just the dream of having this. So now we actually have a physical product that just launched on April 17th.
Wow.
And so we are the first one in Canada, also the first ever cosmetics brand to step into the sports world, offering a toxic-free eye block for sports. Yeah. First stick ever to be made in Canada as well. So we're taking it to Dragon's Den. We've got accepted to go pitch in the Den on Monday. Yep. And we're hitting up some Jays games prior to that. So we're really, really, really excited.
So you're going to give some of the sticks to the players?
Yeah, we actually blindly sent a package to them. Yeah, and it just so happened, of course, again, community is so important. And one of our MisMacKers and someone I went to high school with has a friend who works for the Jays, messaged them and got us onto the VIP list to meet the Jays and go on the ball field during batting practice on Saturday to meet some of them. Yeah. So my son is just ecstatic, and we have no idea what we're in for. So it's very exciting.
But super cool that you get to do this with your son and now kind of, show him the hard work ethic. I mean, he sees you.
He sees it.
But, and you've had to sacrifice and all that kind of stuff. But now he gets to actually do it with you.
And he's seen me build MisMacK in my basement. Yeah. He's helped me pack orders during COVID. He's helped me deliver orders in COVID to now building stores. He went to Victoria to help build it. He helped build Salmon Arm. He helped build, right? And of course, my husband too. Yeah. But he's a very fiery entrepreneur, just like myself. During COVID, he gets it. Yeah. He actually started his own comic business at the age of like 7 or 8 during COVID, where he would he made it's called Comic Craze. You can actually find them on Instagram. And all these characters, to the plots, everything, had master copies, and he would photocopy them and sell them in our driveway. And he made like $60 one day on like a $2 comic, like of paper. So he has that entrepreneurial spirit like myself. And my dad also, I grew up in a household. My dad had a trucking company growing up. So that's where the spirit comes really from. Really, it's like, I was born into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. What would you say the highlight of the last couple of years has been? Was it opening the store in Kelowna?
Whew. Man, because
there's so many things that you're just so.
Yeah, I do have to say that opening the store in Kelowna and finding that location attached to the Delta and having the Delta, when they found out that we got our own going on the Dragon's Den, the pastry chef made us the most beautiful cake. And I was sick that week, so I couldn't get back to the store, and they offered even to deliver it, not knowing that I lived in Canoe, but that's a bit far. But they made this most beautiful cake. So to have the Delta supporting us and to have that community, it has been a whirlwind, and all sorts of new products have happened and meeting different people. Another highlight career was having the opportunity to meet Jamie Kern-Lima. In person. I was the only one that got to meet her at Uplift in Victoria and gift her MisMacK. And she sat there with me for 20 minutes and listened to my story. I've never felt so seen in my entire life. And that's how I really feel about the Kelowna community too. It's I really feel seen here. And it was just a whirlwind to be able to sit and meet with her. Because when I started MisMacK, someone sent me her book, Believe It, and was like, you're like the next Jamie Kern-Lima of Canada. And she was
your hero, your mentor.
Yeah, my mentor. And she gave me some amazing advice and hooked me up with a connection in Toronto. And it was just a crazy, and that was just in November. And what are we in May now? So we're only in the early stages. So watch out, world.
Yeah, watch out for MisMacK. She's coming.
We're coming.
She's here. So do you have any other things you can, I'm not trying to get all the secrets out of you, but do you have anything also in the works, new things coming?
Yes.
I know with makeup you're always trying to do new things.
Yeah.
You're oh gosh, I have to come up with this,
Yeah. They just kind of come to me. So with this whole passion project with gameplay with my son, it has opened up doors that we never ever thought I never was on my radar 4 years ago. Women and sports are not represented in the community of cosmetics, right? Except for maybe a deodorant.
Yep.
So that's where we're coming in, and we're flipping this industry on a whole, and we're going to be the ones representing the youth and the women in sports. And we're creating what's called the Grit Kit It's this little pack. We're going to be launching it on Dragon's Den. I can't stop talking about it. I was going to keep it a secret, but I can't stop talking about it. It's this hard case that's diamond, right? Because you planted a diamond. My son's with ball. And the tag is get gritty, look pretty, but keep it clean, eh? And it will go onto your sports pack. And inside we'll have an amped up mascara, your eye black, and then a little biodegradable glitter. Because it's a huge trend, especially in women's softball in the States.
To wear glitter.
To glam up and do a creative expression with your eye black. Oh. So this is the one, like the gameplay side of it is what I really want in the grit kit is really what I want to hit up Sephora and be that face and to be that brand that is representing them. Yeah. Because no one else is doing it, and that's where it's not about me, and that's what I'm very fired up. But when there's a gap in everyone that's belonged, but there's a huge gap of women's sports is taking over the world. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna be the cosmetics brand in the face of it. So
oh my gosh, so exciting! I just want to wear glitter now.
I know, right? It's fine.
Can we have a glitter party next time? So maybe we can end on something. Is there any advice for young women, or it doesn't even have to be? You can at any age start. Like it doesn't. You, like in our 30s, you have tons of time. Like people could start a business in their 60s. Like you hear it all the time. But is there any advice that you've had over the years from mentors or leaders, or is there anything that really stuck with you that you'd give advice to other female leaders or soon to be female leaders?
Soon to be female leaders. I think something that I was talking to with actually a speaking coach, because I'm now speaking on stages, and
which is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's been a newfound passion that I had no idea that it was. I love it, and it's about going back and thinking about what was that 3-year-old self, and what were you passionate about between like 3 and 8? Yeah. What was something that lit yourself on fire? Like what was something that you're that like, imagination, oh my God, right? That imagination, right? And like when I grow older, I want to be this, and then we get like convoluted into the real world and as adults and we forget about that passion that lights us up. Whether you're going to make it into a business or not, it's finding and sitting with that passion.
That inner child.
of sitting there and fueling it, right? Yeah. And because that inner child doesn't go away, it just gets muffled over the years as we grow up. And the other thing too is, like I say, you fail into your flow. Do not be afraid of failure, because failure is where the growth is. Yeah. Because when you're going to fail, look at us walking. Yeah. You keep failing until you start walking. It's the same with growing a business, and it's the same with anything in life. So just do not be afraid of failure and lean into it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, super excited for your week ahead. And we'll have to get you back clearly in a year or 6 months, because at this rate, MisMacK cosmetics is going to be everywhere, it feels like. And in different, I love the sports and the youth, and I had no idea baseball, like women are wearing glitter, like
huge. It's huge in the States, especially. It goes against the whole anti-glitter thing, but it's an artistic expression of that team.
But wherever they started with the black lines, now it's for the women. That's the way women have changed it now to show like we can have glitter also.
They're playing the game their way, which is super exciting. So Dragon's Den will air in the fall. We'll give everyone the 2-week notice when we get the notice. And I'm hoping we're going to do a watch party in Canoeligans and Canoe. And I think the Delta would like to do a watch party for the Kelowna community. So we'll keep everyone posted.
Awesome. So if you have not, she said she's messaging it through Instagram, email. So if you have questions about makeup products, you just want to go to the Delta and get, what do you call it, a glam?
Yeah, it's a free pampering session. So come see my team. Des and Carly are amazing, and book in a free pampering session and learn an experience.
Yeah, and stop wearing toxins on your face, which I'm like, should we just take everything off now?
Right? I should have brought my kit.
But I'm so excited to, I've tried a few of your products, but I need to get on, now that the education part of it is where you're really like, maybe that's why we have issues.
Well, exactly, right? And then start somewhere, just Google the ingredients that are back on your cookbook. Just Google it, just see what it is and see what comes up. Right? And then
we should do an episode where we get products and we just read it and we're like,
right, and then you Google it and you see what that actually is, right? So it's But don't beat yourself up. You don't
Yeah.
know what you don't know until you know. And other thing too is we also do hair makeup for weddings and events. So
I have seen lots of that, which is amazing.
Still a full on makeup artist, and same with my team too. Carly and I went to school together at Blanche McDonald. So
love that.
Yeah, so full circle there.
Yeah, well, I'm excited, and thank you for bringing clean products and being female and using Canadian suppliers.
Yeah.
Check,
right?
For MisMacK.
I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you for supporting me and for having me.
Thanks for watching.